All right, let's get a little deeper into the advertising aspect of this, and I'm going to slowly walk you through a couple of these things, but I'm going to just, on this video, I'm going to specifically talk about post engagement ads. Post engagement ads. It's different than the boost a post, in my opinion, because you can be way more detailed in how you set it up and who you target and so on. So I'm going to give you some examples of that. I'll try to go through fairly slow. Again, what I would recommend is that I'm going to set one up just like you would, obviously, and I would recommend that you pause the video while you're doing it and then maybe set one up. You can set the ad completely up from start to finish and then not pay for it at the end if you don't want to. If it's just, this way you can dummy it. And if you did, like let's say you put $100 marketing budget down and you didn't want to do it, you can go into your ads manager and just delete the ad and it's done. It's not going to just continue to charge you. And that is another good point. When I get to it, hopefully I'll just say it now, is let's say you decided you had $500 to spend on an ad budget and you decided to burn it all on one ad, and you put it in and you've got it running for a couple days and you've burnt $50 and you haven't got anything. You can turn the ad off and then you don't waste another $450 on it. Okay, so it's very hands-on and it's very easy to manage these things and so on. Okay, so what I've done is all you got to do is if you're on your personal profile page or your fan page, whatever, top right corner is where you're going to click on to go to the ads. It'll say create an ad or ads manager. I'm sorry, on the left hand side is where it's at, the ads manager. You click on it, takes you back here, and then there's a button. And the reason I'm saying it like this is occasionally they change to where the button's at, that says create an ad, okay, which takes you to this page. This is what I'm going to show you. Now, when I look at these different things, I've tested a lot of them. I've tested just about everything on here, and my couple of my favorite ones, my favorite one by far, besides boost a post because it's easy, is post engagement. Okay, because it allows me to be very specific in targeting and getting my message across to people and get the best bang for my buck. Video views is also another good one along with it. So I'm going to just kind of focus on these couple, but let's talk about engagement. Now, you'll see when you go here that it gives you these options, and what's nice is you'll notice that if you hover over the little I mark, the information mark, it'll kind of give you an example of what each one of these is. I already know that I want to do a post engagement because if you remember the video I did for on the boost a post with Coach Sank, that I was just you can click the button and goes. Okay, so but you click on engagement, and then all you're going to do here is on engagement. There gives you some other options here, but I just want post engagement because, as an example, I made a post about whether it's maybe let's say it's just to go to my blog page and read an article. Because in the article, and I'm going to give you some detailed training on how to set up a full campaign, but I want to go step by step like I said. But let's say I just want somebody to click on my post, my blog post, to go to my site, and in the reading of that post, there's a call to action, which is my ultimate goal there. Now understand this, and I'm glad I thought of this as I was saying this. You have to remember what each step, what the specific thing or specific goal is you want from each step as you set up ad campaigns. When you set up a Facebook post, nobody ever sees a post, clicks on it, and signs up for it in 99% of the time. Okay, whether it's or what you understand what I'm saying. I mean, you typically don't see something and then just click on it and go, I'm buying it, right? Or sign me up for this 15-week course. Not going to happen. So what you have to do is you have to kind of get them engaged a little bit to create brand awareness of what you're offering, give them a little teaser, and then you kind of then you put the hook in there a little bit, maybe massage it a little bit, and then you make your call to action. One of the easiest ways to do that is to make a relevant blog post, and I am going to do a video on this. Make a relevant blog post, post it on your Facebook page, so that it shows up properly with the right images and links and text, and then you go in here and you do a post engagement ad, because when they read your post at the bottom of it or in the side of it, it will give them a little more call to action. So it might be the 5 steps to creating the life you dream of. And then when the call to action at the bottom is, hey, these were 5 steps, get my book of 101 ways to change your life for the better. And so your goal is to sell your book or whatever it might be. Okay. So anyhow, let's get to post engagement. Now, what you're doing with campaign name is the campaign name is exactly what it is. Now, if I typically know that it's a post engagement, so I will put PE, so that lets me know, because this is the only stuff that I see or you see, is I put PE for post engagement. So I know what kind of ad type I'm running. So when I go in and look at my ads, I can see them real quick. I got video views, post engagement, boost post, whatever it might be. So post engagement, and then I might name it. So let's say I'm going to do my blog post, 5 steps, because I know I did one a little bit ago. 5 steps, okay? And so I've got that all put together, and then I just click continue. So now, and if you ever want to change something, you'll notice over here on the left hand side, you can go back and you can skip the parts on here and see where it's at. So it's kind of sectioned for whatever you need to do, and you can get to them quick, okay? So now with my audience, this is real important, is my audience is where I'm going to go in and I'm going to, let's say you're brand new and you don't have any what they call custom audiences or anything like that, and I'll do a video on that as well and show you some advanced stuff, but let's keep it simple. Is you've gone here to create a new ad, and your locations. Now you might not want to be sending, it defaults based on the country you're in, but you might want to include Canada as well for your ad or so on, okay? But I'm just going to leave it at the United States. If I was to run, let's say a church program, like if I set up a church and I had a service that I wanted to, show people about to get more people to come to there based on the blog I was sending, I might just locate my zip code in a 25-mile radius of where the church is. So you can be very specific on that as well. Now my age, my audience, I would say, is typically between 25 and 55. Okay, so I go here and I do that. Now I want you to see something over here on the right hand side, is that it shows potential reach of 56 million people. That's right now 56 million people. Don't get excited. You can't spend $100 and reach 56 million people, and it would do you no good anyhow, okay? Is this part that I'm showing you is about dialing it down, knowing who your perfect person is that you want to take a look at it. So as an example, I'm looking for people potentially with my post that are into sales, marketing, internet training, networking training and things like that. So I know basically who my audience is. I don't mind, so if I'm looking here my gender, I don't mind if it's men or women. My languages, I typically don't go through and adjust this, but you might want to, let's say I just want English, the US type of English. I could do that, so if you do have people that you're selling something that's other languages, you can do that. Now detail targeting, this is where the rubber meets the road, is right here, okay? Now in detail targeting, I'm going to go in and, a lot of times it'll remember if I put stuff in here, but let's say I want to run this ad to people who have liked other pages that I might have found interesting, and I'll do a video on audience insights later. But let's say I want people to look at my ad that like Network Marketing Pro Eric Worre, okay? That's a top relevant guy, because let's say I've got a book that I'm selling, because my blog post goes through, gives some good info, and then at the bottom is where I want somebody to opt in. So I'm using this as a piece of content to get in front of them so that they eventually opt in. I know that the perfect demographic of people that I want to target are people who already like network marketing. Specifically, they liked Eric Worre's page. Now, he has a tremendous following, and because I've gone through and I've narrowed the ages down, it narrowed it down to 100,000 people that I could reach with this post. Well, maybe I want to increase that. I usually, if I'm going to do a boost to post, I typically shoot for 1 million people that I could potentially reach. So I might click on this again, and based on this network marketing thing, it's going to offer some other people. Ray Higdon, and you'll notice when I clicked on Ray Higdon and added him to the audience that I would target, it went up another 150,000, so that was a good decision. I click on it. Todd Falcone is another good networker. I click on that. It's now going to add his audience to it, and it's going to give another thing. Now here's the thing. You'll notice that that one did not go up when I clicked on Todd Falcone, even though he has a good interest in that age group. They might not have it, and it didn't move. So instead of spending money on an audience that's the same as probably what Ray's is, I just delete it out of there. And then it goes back to the 250. Oh, savvy network marketing women, that sounds about right. I want that, and you noticed it jumped up another couple, 100,000 or so. So let's just stay right there. We'll go to 320, and we'll leave it at that. Now, if I went through and I spent the time to find the perfect audience that I wanted to market to, instead of having to do this over and over and over again every time I run an ad, I can actually click Save This Audience and name it, and it will already have all of those people specifically in that category, with that age group, with that demographic, with that language, what they were recommending for the language to speak, and it's already done for me, so I can go in and make these things really fast. Okay, so I can click on Boost a Post, or I'm sorry, Post Engagement, find my saved audience. I would do that up here. I would click on Saved Audience. I've got a bunch already saved, and then boom, it would populate immediately, and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so it's good. Now placements. Now this is something that I think is important. Automatic placements says recommended. I don't like that anymore because I tried it and I didn't get the results I thought. I like to do edit placements because they want a lot of times Facebook wants to push stuff towards Instagram. If I don't think that post is relevant with Instagram, I want to uncheck it and take it out of there so that it doesn't it's not on there any longer. The same thing with Facebook. I go drop down. You'll notice that I typically want it to go through my feeds no matter what. I always want that, especially a blog post, to go through feeds, and you may or may not want it to be on the right column. You notice those right column ads. I think people are kind of ignoring those a little more, so I will uncheck that as well. Okay, so again, I'm dialing it down of where I specifically want this ad to go to. Now on budgeting, you've got a couple options here to where you can send it directly with you can spend like $5 a day, $10 a day, $1,000 a day, whatever you want to do this. I a lot of times will do $5 a day based on the size. Now, if I had 1 million people in there, I'd put $5 a day in there. So all you do is you click on it and you put $5 a day. Now what's going to happen over here on the right hand, over here, once I adjust it, it's going to show me that this number dropped down. So now I'm only going to reach 410 to potentially 1,100 people per day. Nothing wrong with that. That's good for spending $5. This right here says that my ad is going to run continuously if I want it to based on that, or I can click set a date. The other thing is I can limit my budget to have a lifetime, and if you click on that, it's going to default to $350. So make sure that you make that adjustment. Let's say I want to spend $20. A lot of times I'll spend $20 on most of these posts, and I'll run them for maybe 3 days. Okay, so usually I do $5 a day for $15 total. If I have a good one that I want to really get out there and I'm seeing some traffic with it, or I've made the same ad using the same post, I may go back and just put $5 a day, just run that thing till I finally see the traffic falling off. But it's real simple. Put that in your $5 daily budget. Run my set continuously starting today. I'll spend about $35 a week if I like it. Now here's the thing: is you're not stuck on that. If I spend $10 and nobody's clicked on it or liked it, which is nearly impossible, I'll just turn that ad off and I'm good. And I look at what maybe wasn't what I did wrong. Maybe it was the copy. Maybe it was it wasn't the audience I was looking for. Okay. Now the other stuff here is I leave all this other stuff on here. Bid amount is automatic. I leave that alone. You get charged. I typically leave all this other stuff alone. Now you can add your ad set name, because with an ad set you may have a campaign, but then under the campaign you can have multiple ads running through that same campaign, but you have ad set number 1, ad set 2, ad set 3. that are doing specifically different things. Now let me click continue. And on here, what you're going to do is you'll notice this popped up. This was my post on my page, 5 steps to building a large sales force. It was a blog post that I put up here. You can go through here and click on it to find what what pages you might be managing and so on. And then if you want to find, so I go to Mike Healy, which is my fan page, and then I look for the article. It will actually, if I click the down button, it will show me all of the different ones all the posts that I've made that I can make an ad out of any one of them. But this one automatically populated, so it's kind of perfect. Now once it's on here, I double check it. Everything seems good to go. And I go right over here and I click place an order and I'm done. And now Facebook is going to go through, look to make sure that if I'm sending them somewhere that it's relevant to what I posted. You can't put something on. You couldn't put this post on and send them to some bikini website, because they're going to see that they don't match up. It should look from the time somebody goes to your blog post and sees the post engagement. When they click on it, they should go and see something almost identical, so they know they're in the right place and they move in the right place. They're moving along exactly how they're supposed to be. Same thing with what Facebook is looking for, is to make sure that you've done it correctly and you go through. So it's real simple. You go through, and again, you can click on, oh man, my objective, I forgot, I didn't want to do that. I can change the name. I can go to my audience, click on that. It will add, crap, I forgot that I want to put Canada in there too. So I can include Canada, and my audience will probably go up, went up by 10,000. Okay, so it's real simple. Go through those things. That's how you set up a post engagement. And again, pause the video, go back, watch it again, test one out, go all the way to the end with it, and then don't run it, but just test it out so you can get the feel for it, and then start over again, do another one, go through, find some audiences, and things like that. And the more you tweak one, you're going to see that it gets better and better for you. And then I'll give you more detailed videos here shortly on specifics, and we'll expand on that. So Boost Post was awesome. Post engagements are awesome, and let me show you some other ones here in a little bit. Thanks.